twisting hard where the shadows lie. Grip the handle, feel the engines roar. Freedom ain't a dream, it's the open door. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the earth quake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold. Night's a beast, it devours the weak. Steel and fire, the language I speak. Dust in my lungs, wind in my face. Speed's my temple, this road's my grace. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the earth quake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold. Ain't no cage that can hold me down. No leash, no chains, no goddamn crown. I'm a rebel, yeah, my spirit's raw. The world can't touch what the wild man saw. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the earth quake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold. Wheels screaming loud under a blood-red sky. Roads twisting hard where the shadows lie. Grip the handle, feel the engines roar. Freedom ain't a dream, it's the open door. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the earth quake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold. Night's a beast, it devours the weak. Steel and fire, the language I speak. Dust in my lungs, wind in my face. Speed's my temple, this road's my grace. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the earth quake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold. Ain't no cage that can hold me down. No leash, no chains, no goddamn
Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking live at Talladega Super Speedway here in virtual Alabama, real state Alabama, but is what it is. Alabama, Talladega, that is the site for all this week for the inaugural King of Talladega, all the way to the LCQs here tonight. King of Talladega, obviously sponsored by ServPro. So thank you very much to ServPro for the sponsorship of that. We're getting lined up for the very first LCQ of the evening. It's the Millie's Restaurant and Catering 65, LCQ number 1. Very much appreciative to Millie's for their sponsorship here with LCQ number 1. John Ward's going to start on the front row. Remember John Ward back from the NASRA 500 at Daytona? Watch out for John Ward. He may have a little something to say here tonight. Keth McCullough Jr. rolling off a P2. Richard Elliott, we saw him have a couple of instances last night. Hopefully he can keep it up there at the front. Cole Larson starting in P4 here this evening for LCQ number 1. Tristan Vickery and Kenny Reel. The Bulldog, Adam Newton, Jeff Merck, Justin Johnson, Lucas Lyons. The top 10 starters with J.R. Miller and Chris Blanchard. That's the top 12 here for LCQ number 1. Alex Hill, Justin Miller, Steve Barnett, Brandon Wallace, top 16. George Jewell, good to see him out here. Shasta's probably out there on the live chat cheering on George. And J.D. Larson rolling off from P18. Then you got Josh Rodriguez and Adam Lichty making up the 10th row. Keep an eye for this guy right here starting in 21st. Malik Ray from Canada. Oh, Canada! A Coke Series driver with the NASCAR Coke Series rolling off P21st. With Trevor Azranov rolling over P22nd here tonight. Sebastian Marin will start at 23rd. And Joey Creech rounded out the top 12 rows. And I'm sure there's a laundry list of more, and there it is. Brian Chew, Holladaddy. Watch out for him. Very good here at the Super Speedways of Talladega and Daytona alike. And George Poole. Got my Jules and my Pools mixed up there for a second, but Gerald Poole, wow, starting from B26. I'm going to have to get me a dip in the back here in a minute, Dean, if I'm going to talk straight. Curtis Banks, Richie Joplin, Taylor Peacock, who's good on the Super Speedways, as well as Mark Fondell, the top 30. Shane Trotter, Tyler Goodwin, Mark Dantuma with Buzzy Mongo, Tyler Justice, Mike Davenport, the top 36er for LCQ number 1. Then obviously behind them, you got Daniel Lawless, Kevin Haas, Craig Schroeder. The 39 drivers, Brady LaBeouf, TJ Moore, and Cody Knott, the race directors, here for this evening, here for LCQ number 1, and probably for all the other LCQs. And real quick, I haven't even introduced myself or our great producer here tonight. I'm the redneck announcer, Jay Reeves. Obviously, Wesley Outland will be joining us here in a little bit. And as always, honestly, I say it each and every time, the best damn producer in the business, Australian Dean Hopton. Biggles working the cameras. Maybe co-commentate with me right here for a little bit till Wesley gets here. Dean, how the hell are you, buddy?
Doing good, Wesley. Good to be back again. Of course, it feels like we were here yesterday.
Wesley.
Jacob, we were here yesterday and the day before. We're back again. Track temperature's a little bit cooler than what it's been in the last couple of qualifiers, so we'll see how that's going to pan out for the drivers. But remember, it's the same situation for everybody in this race, so you just have to learn how to compensate for it at the moment for our 25-lap qualifier. Remember, the top 2 get themselves slotted into that 500, of course, into the builds. To that first 2 finishes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what you got to get. From what I understand, for Brady LaBeouf and Cody Knott, the top 2 drivers in each LCQ will lock themselves into the field on Friday night. And remember, all they've got to do, they've got to start the thing. They can't just say, okay, we take it and we're good to go. They've got to actually start the duels to lock in their spot in for the 500 come Friday night. So they've got to be wary on that as well. Everybody else, 3rd through 8th in each LCQ will make it into the duels come Friday night. Everybody else, maybe you can rebuy. Other than that, if you can't rebuy, you go into the house and watch it at Friday night here on live on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Green flag is in the air. And we got a race here at Talladega, LCQ number 1, presented by Millie's Restaurant and Catering. They worked their way going into turn number 1 and 2 up to 33 degrees of bacon. around the 2.66 miles super speedway and work their way down for the very first time of the evening off of turn number 2 down the Alabama Gangster stretch.
It's time to build up the speed, of course. You're going to see whether or not these drivers are going to start doing 3-wide action just yet there, Wesley. Jacob, we've seen this before in the past, but they've got to build up that momentum, build up that speed. Remember, right now, mate, you've still got to get through all the rest of these remaining laps.
Yeah, I'll be your Wesley all night long, I guess, at least until he gets here. McCullough Jr. up here trying to lead this thing. Larson up top, getting the shot from Kenny Rio. John Ward down on the inside. Remember, John Ward started on the pole for this race. He's already been kicked back to third. And everybody trying to be one of the top 2 drivers to lock themselves in. If you can't, just make it 3rd to 8th. And if you finish 3rd to 8th, you're going straight into the duels and you're good to go. Other than that, like I said, you may get to rebuy, you may not get to rebuy. I'm not 100% on that one. We may get a confirmation with Brady and Cody after this, but we'll see what happens. As you see McCullough Jr. up at the front, he hadn't had that good of a week. He's got caught up in a lot of stuff. But here he is at LCQ number 1, and John Ward just basically kicked him all the way to the top side, said, excuse me, I'll take this spot down to the inside all the way in the cellar. Well, Grandpappy has the moonshot from Granny. We got spinners in the back. They're trying to straighten out, and they are not. Some of them literally got pilot's license. ServPro caution out for the first time here this evening on lap number 3.
A few drivers unfortunately involved in that one for our first ServPro caution. Sponsor of the event at the moment, and it looks like we've got Shane Trotter involved in that one. Might have been a few other drivers back here, so we'll go back and have a look at the replay of that one then, Jacob, and find out exactly where it all started to happen.
Volks Popper's instant replay. Kind of what happens right here. Sorry, Dane, I was actually going for that tobacco like I was talking about a second ago. I need to get my mind straight here for a second. There it is up the road from J.R. Miller or Junior Miller. I'm not sure if it's J.R. Miller or Junior Miller. I've caught a couple races that he's been in, but I never have been able to talk to him and find out if it's J.R. or Junior, but we're going to go with J.R. And it was up the road from J.R. You see Trotter, he slides down to the inside, but one thing's for certain, Dane, somebody slipped up. It might have been somebody trying to get clear. They was not clear. And then after that, I mean, somebody just flies down. It may have been up a little bit farther. I think it was up there around this 3 wide. It's about that second truck on the top side. Not 100% who that was. But it started in this area right here where they was looking 3 wide. Looks like they shot 4 wide, thought about it, didn't happen. There it is. 99's the one that come around. Might have tried to jump down, tried to make it happen. That's Brandon Wallace. And then after that, good Lord have mercy, Craig Schroeder and others, Richie Joplin getting involved. Numerous drivers getting the short end of the stick on that bad boy. There's J.D. Larson right there behind them in the 98. Just bad luck right there out of all that. Watch this right here. I mean, he slides down. 77's got honestly, a head full of steam. Curtis Banks right there gets into him. After that, they try to straighten it out, and then you got other guys back there, just no time to react, no time to hit the brakes. Run right into the back of them and literally knock them up into the air.
So there you go. That'll be essentially, you're looking at Tyler Goodwood and Jared Poole there, Curtis Banks there, Richie Joplin, Mark. It looks like Fundell, Shane Trotter, Mike Davenport, Brandon Wallace, all having to go down and get some of those repairs fixed out after our first ServPro caution of the night. Or day, depending on where you are. Day here at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that's going to be rough on them right there. And, remember, I believe there is no fast repairs here in these LCQs, just like it's going to be for the feature on Friday night. So all those guys is going to be down pit road for quite some time and trying to get everything lined up. John Ward, he did not elect to take a pit stop. He is up here at the front. But we're going to do the latter. We're going to take a quick pit stop. Let you hear from some of our great sponsors. Just underway with LCQs. Getting ready for the inaugural King of Talladega come Friday night. Stay with us.
you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back live here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Redneck announcement Jake Reeves with Australia, Dean Hopton Biggles on production. Dean, real quick, I know we're getting doubled up. We're getting ready for the restart and everything else, but Dean, I've said it numerous times on the broadcast. I just got to get your reaction because I know we talked about it off air one time when I said that you were the best damn producer that I've ever seen, and you kind of got a chuckle, you kind of got red, and
sure, some
other things might have happened, but that's besides the point. Beside the point. But I mean, you got to be humble with that statement. I mean, and I really sincerely mean that. I don't throw that around often. I sincerely mean it 100% that you're the best one that I've ever seen.
Oh, appreciate that. Just strive to get better, like always. I think there's a lot of great producers out there, Jacob, that can actually manage 2 computers, sometimes even 3 computers at once so that they can do more information. I'm going to get there at some point, my friend, but that's just concentration level through the roof. But that's all about bringing the best productions you can bring, make do what we have. So we got some unfamiliar names that are in for their opportunity, of course, to get themselves into the last chance qualifiers. A lot of rebuys back in there as well too, so we've got some familiar names coming back in there to see if they give it a shot, like Jeff Merck there, Adam Newton as well, Buzzy, Taylor Peacock. We've got a few of those drivers back at it again, and you also mentioned Nick Ray as well too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not going to talk about Jeff Merck. I'm sure Don's out there in the live chat. Just don't even talk about him, so we're not even going to talk about him. If he's leading the race, we won't say his name. We'll just save that truck just to try to cover him, that because he has come so close so many times this week. Feeling like Dale Earnhardt trying to go for the Daytona 500, so we'll just make sure we won't even mention his name. Green flag's back in the air. John Ward, who led him here to the restart, has got nobody, N-O-N-E, behind him. Now they start to latch up to get up in behind him. The bad part is Elliott got there a little bit too late. Kitty Real was already latched on to McCullough Jr. McCullough goes from the top all the way down to the bottom, and now Real tries to lead this outside lane. The Bulldog, Adam Newton, he's going to try to slide up here and make it up into the top 2 and try to transfer to Friday.
Thinking about the 3rd lane. Whoa! Hold on to it, son. What a save. At the moment, that could have gone all pearl-shaped at the moment there for Kenny Real. That's the number 11. Pink machine on the front, pink and blue. Wow. That has just avoided our second ServPro caution of the night there, Jacob. So I was just about to say they're looking for a bit of 3-wide action at the top there, but nobody was coming up with them. But now they're starting to think about it, but no, they're tucking back in at the moment, keeping it 2x2s for now.
Yeah, everybody's still keeping it 2x2. That's one thing that we saw a little bit of earlier on here tonight. It was a little bit of that 3-wide racing, but for the most part, everybody flip-flops and jumps back into the 2-wide deal. Ward lined right up with McCullough Jr. Nobody so far broke out, made that 3-wide shot going into turn 3. McCullough Jr. still leading them from Savannah, Georgia. I've done some work down there in Savannah. Nothing against it, but I don't want to go back, at least not back for work. Nothing against them, it's the Georgia boys. I'm all for them, but not back for work for what I went for. But McCullough Jr. up here leading this thing. Ward now jumps to the top side. He's going to go to the top shelf. He's going to try to go for the lead. And that man that we're not talking about is leading up there on the top side as well. Walk down to the bottom side as they work into 1.
You're not going to jinx him. You're not going to jinx him. It's perfectly fine on that one. There's up the
I ain't
top
getting no
side.
hate mail.
Trying to get that 3-wide action happening. Not quite yet. It's the JJ show up front there. John Ward and the other J that we're not going to mention at the moment, with Kenneth dropping down. Currently in at the moment the 4th, but he's still in. There is the high line. Ooh, Jacob. Just trying to see if they're going to get that momentum going. I think it's led by the Alex Hill 177.
Yeah, Alex Hill up here on this 177 trying to rock and roll up there. How about you? couple of Georgia boys up there in the middle of all this. Peachtree City, Georgia, for Alex Hill. He tries to jump up. He had one jump up in front of him. It's different. He will jump down to the inside, or middle rather, go 4 wide, going across the stripe, heading into turn number 1. John Ward still with the lead. They're looking 4 wide once again back there. Hill wanted to go 3 wide, thought different, saw a hole, went 4 wide. Now he's kicked all the way up on the top side of the high side tickler line. Some drivers dropping to the bottom saying, screw this, I got a feeling we're going to see a wreck. I already saw 1 or 2 drop down below the double yellow line. They can do that. They can drop down below the double yellow line and drop to the back if they see anything wrong. You just can't go below that double yellow line to improve your position. Race directors up there, TJ Moore, Cody Knott, Brady the Buff, they will black flag you if you go down below the double yellow line to improve your position.
Yeah, just to want him to get out of it. But then again, I don't know. Jacob. Oh, 11. I don't know if he's going to save it. No, he can't, unfortunately. It's getting in the fence.
He about did.
And that's going to be causing a caution for sure. There they go. Oh, he gets out of it somehow. Kenny Real manages to get out of that one, but unfortunately it has taken a whole chunk of other cars. It did start around 11, wasn't it? Getting loosey-goosey.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, he literally was dirt tracking that damn thing all the way down through the start finish. Watch this again. See Kenny Real right there in the pink and blue. Yeah. He gets tagged. He had one on the bottom, slid up and got into him. Might have been Malik Ray that got into him. I believe it might have been. But then Real just side. I mean, he is literally sliding all over the place. And finally, he just ran out of time. I mean, if that would have been straight there for about maybe another 100, 200 yards, he probably would have straightened it out and had no problem. Problem is, you had a 33-degree bank. You're going to go up while you're sliding. I mean, that's just the bad end of the deal on it. He slides up, and it's game over from there. Riding on board with Kenny Real. What's this? Look at this.
Wow. At this point, you still think you're safe. Bounces off that truck, actually keeps it out of the fence. Of course, there's the wrecks that are happening behind him, but I don't think there's any damage on his car, and he's still going to be running P12 after that caution. But who got into him initially?
Well, hang on a minute. Watch him right here going down the straightaway. I was going to say watch him right there going down the straightaway and see which way his wheels turn, because it looked like he was turning that wheel it looked very hard going through the corner. You may can actually see if it knocked the whole wheel out of shape. And I'll explain that here in a minute, Dean. But if we can, after all this happens, see what his wheel looks like when it's going down the backstretch, and I'll give you an idea of how bad the wheel is. Just watch his wheel right here. You see how it's kicked to the left. Obviously, he's going through the turn, but watch what happens on the straightaway. Is it still kicked to the left? Yes, it is. So the toe's knocked out of that thing. Right. You usually want that tape right up and down. You want it dead center when you're going straight. Some like to have that offset to the left or to the right or whatever, but that in my eyes, as hard as he hit, I think it knocked the toe out and got him all out of shape. There was the contact to Kenny Real. It was Richard Elliott, it wasn't Malik Ray, but it was Richard Elliott that got into him and knocked him up sideways. Elliott might have got tagged from the back end and then got sent up in the rail, and this is a chain reaction.
Yep. And you're right about that one too. So there's a few other drivers. It looks like the 81 going down the escape road as well. Going back to live pitches now, Jacob. And Kenny did have to go in and fix that down pit lane. Not just himself there. Blanchard's going down. Poor Chris Blanchard's not getting a break. George Jewell as well going down. He might have got involved in that one. Justin Johnson, you can pull, Buzzy, Daniel. I think there's a big shout out out there too for Daniel the 97 as well too. Just not having a lucky day as well too. Craig, Devonport, Miller, and Brandon Wallace was still on the damage clock from earlier as well too for the 99.
Yeah, out there in the live chat, a couple of you out there, go 99. We got a couple of 99s out there for Brandon Wallace. 41 isn't racing tonight from my understanding, so Lucas Lyons, he is. He's right there. He's in the 9th spot right now from what we're seeing. It may be a different 41 from what we're understanding. R. Johnson, I'm assuming Tiny Horse. Dean, you're a little quiet, buddy, compared to Jake, so we'll get that figured out maybe as well. And Keppa, I'm going to mess this one up. Keppa Call Cap, however you want to pronounce on that. Yes, I'm single. With that name, I wouldn't be surprised. That's beside the point. I'm gonna get some hate mail for that one, probably already out of that one. But yeah, I mean, you know, some of you out there talking about wheel damage. Yeah, I mean, as hard as he hit the wall right there, but you got to give him a little bit. You got to give Kenny Rails credit as much as you can, because I don't think there's a whole lot of people, myself included, that could have saved or almost saved that truck like Real did. He wasn't able to save it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a hell of a that's a lot of concentration. Try to go left, right, try to straighten it out. And unfortunately, like I said, he ran out of straight real estate, went to a 33-degree corner, and then it was game over.
That's just the way it is. It was very good. Have a look at the Cuban driver of Sebastian Marlin in as well too. He's got probably one of the highest I ratings that I've seen at the moment in this field for sure. It's 8,796. That's not too bad if you're going by your I rating, my friend. But
yeah, I mean, and Dean, you know what? Well, yeah. Go ahead, Dean. Go ahead.
No, you're right. I was going to say I rating's not going to mean that much at the end of the day too in short qualifying races as well too, because you know you haven't got the super time to show your talent per se. It's all about that qualifying performance and stuff like that too, and he didn't qualify so well. He had to make up 14 places, currently 13 places to be in P10. But we did see it, didn't we, from Speaker the Tiny Horse out there having to make his slice his way up through the field there to win his qualifying race.
Yeah, we watched that last night as well. And, you know, back to the I rating deal, you know, I mean, I rating here at Talladega, in my opinion, it means diddly squat. Like literally, it means absolutely nothing. I mean, sure. I mean, you know, you could get I rating from super speedways, you know, to miss wrecks and try to finish ahead and everything else. But Dean, me and you, we talked about this for the very first endurance race that we had here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network on Tuesday nights. We had the same exact conversation about I rating. You know, I've seen guys that have 8,000 I rating and go up against, say, $2,000 I rating, and the guys that's got $2,000 I rating just absolutely leave them in the dust. And you know, I rating is a number. It's a good thing to have, by all means. But at the same time, you know, you get humbled a little bit when you're, you know, say $8,000 or $6,000 or whatever, and have somebody $2,000 end up waxing the floor with you. It just means when you got 8,000, it just means that you've had the time and you've ran good in official races against your competition. That's all that I rate number, but at least to me. Now, some of you out there in live chat, let us know what you think about it. But you know, at least that's my opinion.
And if you're doing any of those special events that is hosted on iracing, you can get yourself in some of those top splits and get a very high I rating number as well.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, endurance races, 24-hour races, stuff like that. But of course, I don't think it really relates to that many special events that I do have for the trucks. Anyway, that's all preserved, of course, for the other special series that I do. Here we go.
Green's out. Green flag.
Yeah, here we go. Getting ready for another restart. They hit the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Alex Hill up 12 spots. Malik Ray, I talked about him a while ago in that one. NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series driver, up here pro driver, trying to mix it up 19 spots from where he started. He is up here in prime position to get one of those two transfer spots to be racing on Friday night. And he may just want to go ahead and win it all together. Around the outside with a huge shot from Trevor Astronaut. Takes him all the way to the front. Mind you, both of these drivers, Malik Ray and Trevor Astronaut, up 20 spots to the tee where they started at. They started right beside one another from the start of this race. As Malik Ray saw the run on the inside from Hill, jumps down, puts the block, not able to do it. Hill knocked him out of the way. He's going for the lead on the inside with Malik Ray up top.
Here we go. You're getting close to the 11 to go, Jacob. So it's crunch time, pending no more cautions. Look at the split packs that we have at the moment. You've got not a lot of laps to catch up to them. So if you're in this top 6, top 8 perhaps, you've still got a shot to get yourself into the big 500 race by finishing first or second, Jacob.
Yeah, you still got plenty of time right here. I mean, you know, a big one could happen once again. Or, you know, you could be able to catch the draft at the right time, make it happen. But for the most part, we're starting to see a little bit of a gap right here. Not too big of a gap, but it is starting to kind of form out a little bit. about 10 trucks already scattered right here at the front. Then you got a line right behind them. Malik Ray leading the way all the way coming off of turn number 4. Takes it all the way down to the bottom with Astronaut now up top. Astronaut tries to get a run. He's got a shot from you-know-who right behind him. Astronaut trying to make it happen on the top side, trying to get something to work. But Alex Hill just wearing out Malik Ray. Malik Ray still leads off of turn number 2 with 10 to go.
And because they're so bunched up, Jacob, we did hear, didn't we, from some of the drivers, there's also importance about overheating at the moment, especially if you're in the middle of a 3-wide action in a course like that. You're not getting much air into the cooler of the cars. Therefore, you can start revving it. You can start overheating it. You can actually blow your engine up as well, too. So that's something that's got to go through the driver's minds. There's no good chance to get out there and get some open, clean air there unless you're right up the front at the moment. So that's also an important part to play here. But being the track temperatures are a bit cooler, it might make it a bit easier for these drivers this evening.
Yeah, I mean, the air temperature obviously very, very much cooler as well. It was about 83 last night. Now it's down to 69 for the air temp. Track temp at 78, as you see right there on the bottom right of your screen. And while that's going on, we're 3 wide up here for the lead. John Ward, who was on the bottom at 2 down there to help him. Now he's got a whole laundry list of drivers trying to rock and roll with him as well. Top side's got help. Middle lane's got help. Bottom lane's got help. Now Malik Ray, he shoots out ahead. They're 3 wide for second. Malik Ray trying to make it happen. They're sliding. NASRA trying to save it. Good God, hold on to it. He's able to hold on to it. That could have been disastrous for the rest of the field. Might have been Alex Hill. I thought it was Trevor Astronaut that got sideways. But now we're 3 wide for the lead again. Steve Barnett to the top side trying to make something happen as well.
And we got Sebastian up there as well too in the mix. Steve, John. Whoa! There it is. Richard Allett goes off at the inside. I don't know they're going to call it a caution. No, 2 drivers off at the moment there. But we're green, go. I think it's Rodriguez as well.
It's out of... Yeah, I mean, Dana, honestly, I think it's off the racing surface, so NASRA official's not going to throw the caution on this one. Sebastian Merritt, you talked about a Cuban driver up 22 spots. He wants to try to run into the King of Talladega come Friday night, the inaugural running of the NASRA 500 King of Talladega. He leads. Malik Ray knocks him out of the way. A lot of drivers, we've seen a lot of that here throughout the week, Dean. Drivers just driving into the corner on the bottom and just don't lift and nail them right in the tailgate and knock them straight up the hill. You got to do that. You got to have that mentality to knock somebody out of the way. Don't wreck them, but knock them out of the way to get yourself up into a position, especially when you're up here racing for the lead. That ends up screwing Sebastian. Now John Ward's going to take that advantage on the inside with Malik Ray up top.
Let's see if Malik Ray gets the push to cut back down in front of him. He's been doing that a couple of times. He elects to go wherever at the moment he wants to go. He wants to go back down the inside. There is enough distance for now. There it is. He's deciding. He's elected. He'll go there. That's what's been happening. Then he goes up on the top side a couple of times. If he's unhappy down there, gets a nice push and moves his way up around. So I think the Canadian has been kind of the one that's dominating, controlling the front of this race at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Lap truck all the way down on the apron, letting everybody slide by. Almost came right up in the middle of everybody trying to go through the tri-oval. 6 laps to go. Malik Ray, Sebastian Merritt, they lead it here, both lanes. One driver way up there on the top side shelf has got no help at all, and he is going backwards in a hurry. Taylor Peacock, you see the 81 try to take a shot. He's going to jump up. And Astronaut goes up, he's going to hang him out to dry. So drivers sliding up, acting like they're going 3 wide, and then jump back down into the middle lanes, screwing some of these drivers. Astronaut gives him the door bang going into 3, lets him know he wasn't too happy about that. They're all getting sideways. We got smoke and everything with 6 coming to 5 to go, and they still try to keep it straight.
Yeah, there's the 4-wide action in the middle. That's going to get very, very dangerous. We haven't seen that work out. In fact, tonight's the first time we've seen it. There's a little bit of argy-bargy going on in the middle. They're trying everything at the moment to sort themselves out. But at the front there, Sebastian, Alex, Malik Ray, and even Peacock are in those prime positions at the moment. We're getting down to 5 to go down the backstretch.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to get good right here. Sebastian Merritt still with the lead. Alex Hill, Malik Ray, Taylor Peacock, they flip-flop. Now Barnett slides up. He'll go up into the P5 spot.
There they go.
Everybody slipping, sliding it. Here we go. Big one. One driver flips over on his lid. Might have been Peacock in the 81. And we got drivers flipping all over the place going into turn 3, and that will bring out yet another ServPro caution and possibly take us into overtime.
Who was that went up completely on their lid? We're going to go back to kind of around Peacock. Saw that happening. It's unfortunately going to give his chances too well of seeing what's going to happen here there, Jacob, because it just gets a little argy-bargy here. There, it's a little bit that's already happening, isn't it? There's a little push from the 42. 35 gets into it a little bit. There again, 42 gets loose. Tags Peacock, who tags, I think, Alex Hill. He gets up flipping on top of the other cars. You got another truck on their lid. Who was that?
Brian Chu went under him. Goodness.
Yeah, who's the truck that went completely up flipping too?
If it was the 35, I'm assuming Adam Lichty was the 35, the one that was flipping over and over and over. But if we can, I mean, we're right on board with Adam Lichty. He's up there on the top shelf right here. This is Adam Lichty in the 35. He's the one that went end over end. There's the stack up. Peacock shoots up. And from there on, Barnett might have tagged Fake McCullough. Got him, and then Adam Lichty just side over side, end over end. Oof. Wow. And if we can, right on board with Brian Chu, because he went under Adam Lichty, just slid right under Brian Chu in the 51. I mean, this right here is one of those moments where you go, oh, dear God. What do I do at this point? Watch this. Pilot Daddy down on the bottom side. See everything, sees the smoke. He drifts all the way to the bottom. There goes Lichty. Whoa. He hits the wall and goes under him, drives completely under Adam Lichty. And Dean, I've talked about this numerous times, and then obviously Chu gets tagged in the back end, gets set around, but that's where I like to be, especially right here at these ends. Outside middle lane, they're usually the ones that kind of roll pretty fast, and you can get passes and everything else, and the inside kind of stacks up a lot, but if there's a wreck like this, Brian Chu's got all that real estate all the way to the left side. Yeah. When they wreck, you can go below that double yellow line. Doesn't matter if you improve your position or not. You're trying to miss a wreck, but look at all that real estate that he's got to try to use, and he's able to miss a whole bunch of it. If he didn't have all that real estate right there, he would have been straight up in the middle of it, and he would have been in worse shape than what he is right now.
Exactly. No, that is not a bad place to be. Which it might be a reason why a lot of drivers have been favouring down in that inside yellow striped line as well too, so that they got that escape if it all goes pearl-shaped on the middle and outside lanes. So here we go. Jacob, as you mentioned, I think we're going to have our first green-white checker of the evening. We had, I think, every race so far in the qualifiers has finished under a green-white checker.
I believe so. I believe every single one of them has, with the exception, I believe, last night's race, the last one. Not 100% if it went to green, white, checkered, but I do know this: two out of the last three ended under caution. Last night's last race, it ended under green.
That's right.
I'm not 100% what happened on Sunday night. I wasn't here, but I'm not surprised. I mean, this is Talladega. I mean, hell, it's real life. Real life, I mean, they ended under overtime. You never really see them go the full distance. They always got to have a little bit of extra time as well to try to make that happen and everything. So I'm not surprised to see overtimes at Talladega, much less a LCQ. I mean, you finish if you finish first, second, you're racing Friday. You're racing in the big race. You're good to go. You still got to run the duels tomorrow night. But at the same time, you're guaranteed into racing, on Friday night. So there's a lot at stake right here.
Drivers at the moment that chipped out some of those repairs are trying to get back out ahead of our leader of Sebastian, which they will, so that they can get themselves back onto that lead lap in case there's another big one. They'll be able to scoot themselves hopefully up through. You never know. You can go flying just like those cars are going, flipping all the way across the line and finish ahead of everybody. We have seen it before. probably want to be somewhere around that P10 position if that's going to happen. Up to these two to work together, of course. Pro drivers, as mentioned out there in the chat, and all money races have got this if they work together for the most part, which they kind of have been. You're probably talking about Sebastian there and Malik Ray. And Alex Hill's
Possibly John Ward, too.
And John Ward, yes. So let's see how they're going to pan out. Now, remember, it's going to be a quick sprint, really, of 3 laps there, Jacob. So as long as they can stay out front, potentially, how long is it going to take to get that third lane going? That's the thing, isn't it? You've got to get that third lane going very, very quickly if you want to have a shot at getting around them.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Folks, if you don't know what green, white checkers is, we'll help you out with it. Basically, what happens is a pace truck will pull in, they'll hit the green flag, and they're rocking and rolling for 2 laps. If the caution comes out before they get back to take the white flag, this being already into overtime, it's already went into overtime rules, so this is the only attempt, so the race is over with. But if they make it back and they take the white flag, it's game on at that point. They could wreck. The whole field could pile up going into turn 1. It's whoever gets around the 2.66 mile tri-oval, first and second, locks themselves into Friday, and then 3rd through 8 go on to the duels tomorrow night. And Dean, to answer your question, how long would it take for a third lane to get going? I would say everybody will probably double file it at least for about half a lap. Once they start going to the 3, then you're going to see that 3 wide. But some may take the opportunity to just go ahead and gas up and just go. And take that opportunity, go on up there and get up there right off the bat. Some may try to take that opportunity because you don't know if you're racing back to you don't know if you're racing to the caution flag,
Green.
if you're racing back to the white flag. You don't know in this particular instance. You already see some drivers already looking to take that third lane up there. Some drivers moving around all over the place. Green flag in the air. LCQ number 1 presented by Millie's Restaurant and Catering. And Sebastian Marin leads with Alex Hill to his outside. And it's not going to happen. Actually, that's Malik Ray up there. Alex Hill latched right on with Marin. Her number 2 down the Alabama gang super stretch. Hill with the 2nd spot. Marin with the lead. And here comes Malik Ray with help behind him from John Ward.
Somebody wants to get that third lane going, but nobody's gone with the 77 up there, so he'll have to start thinking about slotting in behind. He will at the moment. So here it is. We have another caution, but, Jacob, we will have to end this one, unfortunately, under the caution flag. So that'll be a big smile on the face there of Sebastian and an even bigger smile on the face there from Alex Hill. Malik Ray did not get time to get that second lane going.
That will be the Darren's Detail and Shine white flag. All Marin's got to do is just get it right back around to hit the line, and he will be LCQ number 1 winner. Sebastian Marin will lock himself in to the NASRA 500 King of Talladega Friday night. All he's got to do is start the duel. Remember, tomorrow night he starts in his duel. He's locked in. Him and Alex Hill both. They are good to go as the pace truck picks them up. And not 100% what happened back there in the back. No. I know there was, I'm sure there was drivers trying to make moves and trying to get runs, try to slide up there and, make it happen. But you talked about a Cuban driver right here, Sebastian Marin, and we talked about this last night, Dean. I mean, it is an international affair. So, we got people from Canada. We got, just all over the place. Aussie. I mean, we got the whole 9 yards here with the inaugural King of Talladega.
Well, I was hoping there's going to be some Australian NASCAR drivers in there. But unfortunately, also in our neck of the woods, so you're talking about daytime events. A lot of people are at work in Australia currently at the moment because it's give or take around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So unfortunately, unless it was a weekend, probably you wouldn't get a lot of the drivers. But for you guys in your neck of the woods, it's in the evening time. So work's over and it's playtime now, if you could call this playtime in the evening.
Well, I mean, Dean, you got to think about it. I mean, do you want to work or do you want to try to make it into the NASRA 500 King of Talladega?
They could take a day off work and say, hey, I'm trying to get into the...
You got to take your priorities. You got to check your priorities at the door. You know what I mean? You got to check them one way or another out of all that. But Here you see him coming to the line. Obviously, ServPro caution is out. And Sebastian Merritt will take it all the way to the house. And he will end up wedded. LCQ number 1, Alex Hill, will finish second. They will lock themselves into Friday night. Kenneth McCullough Jr., John Ward, and Chris Blanchard, the top 5 to end it here for LCQ number 1. But the night belongs to Sebastian Merritt and Alex Hill. They are going to be racing come Friday night for the inaugural King of Talladega.
Yeah, you just wonder what if Malik Ray as well too, who had that time, and Kenneth behind him as well too, of John Ward as well. If they've just had enough time to get that second one, that's the problem, isn't it? I mean, with the one green white checkered, you don't have multiple shots at it, so you got to be at the right place at the right time, and that's exactly where this driver of Sebastian had been. Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You know, Sebastian Merritt, he gets the win here for LCQ number 1. Looks like he's going to take a little while to get around for the burnouts. We'll run down through the race results real quick. Obviously, there you see it. Sebastian Merritt with the win here at LCQ number 1. Alex Hill finishes in P2. They're rocking and rolling. They're going to Friday night, pending them starting their duel come tomorrow night. Kenneth McCullough Jr. will finish in 3rd. John Ward 4th. Chris Blanchard, good run for him. He ends up finishing 5th. Curtis Banks, Tyler Goodwin, and Richie Joplin. That's the top 8. That's from what we was told, or at least from what I was told by Brandon Buff and Cody Knott. 3rd through 8th, they're going to the duels tomorrow night. Regardless, everybody else have to rebuy and try to do it again. So then you got 9th Tyler Justice, James Trotter making up the top 10. With Mark Dantuma finishing 11th, Kevin Haas, George Jewell, Richard Elliott, Joey Creech, the top 15. Justin Miller, Gerald Poole, Craig Schroeder, the top 18. As finally Marin's able to get around to the start-finish line and do his burnout. So we've already got through the top 18 with Josh Rodriguez, Adam Luke making up the top 20. Martin Vondell will finish 21st. Buzzy Mongol, Malik Ray, there you see him finishing 23rd. Might have got caught up in that wreck. Jeff Merck, you see him there. Lucas Lyons, Justin Johnston, Trevor Aspinall looked like he had a pretty good shot, just wasn't able to make it work for the Jack Shack crew. Kenny Real had a killer save, but he just wasn't able to work out for him tonight, 28th. Mike Davenport, Taylor Peacock, that's the top 30 here for LCQ number 1. The rest of the field, Daniel Lawless, Brian Shue, Adam Lichty, Steve Barnett, J.R. Miller, Tristan Vickery, O. Larson, J.D. Larson, ironically enough, father-son duo right there, and Brandon Wallace, the 39 drivers, Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, TJ Moore, the race directors for LCQ number 1. Dean, I don't know if we're going to flip up and go in here and bring up the top 2. I believe we may end up bringing up the top 2 anyway, so we'll go ahead, bring them up real quick as we're getting ready to flip-flop over to LCQ number 2. We'll bring up our race winner for LCQ number 1, Sebastian Merritt. Baby, 22 spots. 22 spots and 25 laps, son. You were humping it through Talladega. Tell us about it.
Yeah, man. Oh, everything just kind of worked out. Qualified mid-pack, just got a little unfortunate with the win there, Wind RNG. And just knew I kind of had to survive for a few laps, avoid some of the wrecks that happened directly in front of me. And then I knew my main competition was going to be Malik, Sean, and John Ward up there. So I felt like it was just going to be, who was in the right place at the right time. And I just so happened to be in the perfect spot at just the perfect time. And I had my buddy Sean behind me working with me. So we were going to be committed to the bottom. And that timing of the yellow just couldn't have worked out any better for both of us to both make it in. Because it was looking for maybe one of us to make it, but not both. But that yellow really saved both of us. So got really lucky with that. But overall, a good race.
Jason, talk about that, because I talked about this, before y'all went green. You don't know if you're racing back to the caution or if you're racing back to the white flag. You don't know. Does that scare the hell out of you, to be honest with you, when you're getting out there getting ready for the restart for the last green white checker? Does that just scare you so much that you don't know what you're racing back to?
It definitely worries you because it changes up what you do with your plan, right? Because if you have teammates around you, you can be like, all right, I'm gonna choose the top, and we're gonna lock out the front row, or we both stay bottom because we'll push through everyone else. And depending where the yellow comes out, I mean, if the yellow comes out entering turn 1 immediately after the restart, it's me and Malik that are in instead of me and Sean. But if maybe they wreck through the trial, well, who knows? Maybe the outside lane gets a big run and 2 of them get cleared, and then just like that, me and Sean are both out. So it's definitely wary, especially not having a green-white checkered, right? You only get just that one try if you get near to it. And man, it was scary for sure, but once again, it played out perfectly. So.
Yeah, I'd take it all day long, baby. Take it all the way to the front, up 22 spots and 25 laps, son. That is moving here at Talladega. Sebastian Marin, congratulations on the LCQ win presented by Millie's Restaurant and Catering. Congratulations on that one. Appreciate your time. You've got any sponsors, any shout-outs that you want to thank?
I'll give a shout-out to Mark for covering me to enter. I kind of came in last second because I didn't want to, I had somebody else that was going to run for him, and they couldn't last second, so I didn't want to, feel bad and leave him empty-handed, so I decided to run for him. So big shout-out to him for letting me run this, and yeah, what a great day.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to do it right there. Just a kind of a fill-in, I guess you could say. Slide in there, win your race. You get ready to run and possibly have a shot to win the inaugural King of Talladega. Sebastian Marin, congratulations on the win, buddy. Appreciate your time. We'll see you Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good night.
That was Sebastian Marin, comes home with the P1 here tonight. We was going to talk to Alex Hill, who was the P2 finisher, but I do not see him in the waiting room. So looks like that's going to end up doing it. We was just going to do the first and second guys. But Dean, buddy, LCQ number 1, baby, it's in the books. We're getting ready for LCQ number 2.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that we get an actual green flag finish at the moment, because I don't think anybody at the end of the day really wants to finish under the caution, do they? I mean, you want to see a nice little dash to the checkered flag, but it is what it is, and it's an opportunity, obviously, for some of the drivers to make their way up through the field there. Of course, another little wreck there towards the end, but that is what it is. We've got more action to come. Jacob.
Absolutely. Everybody out there on the LCQ 2 and 3, listen up. Let's finish these suckers under green. Give the fans something to talk about here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. If you haven't yet, make sure you like and subscribe. This stream is going to kill off, and then we're going to go to a completely different stream, but it'll all still be here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Sebastian Marin wins LCQ number 1, presented by Millie's Restaurant Catering. He's going Friday night for the inaugural King of Talladega. We're getting ready for LCQ number 2. Stay with us here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network.